Okay. Okay, good morning, everybody. Can we hear me online also? Hopefully looking good. Yep, okay, good. So, welcome to Dawn Mountain. Really happy to see everybody here today. As you know, we have a lunch after our meditation session today, so, that's all the more reason to be around, so thank you guys. I'm Jason Cox. I've been a student here since I figured yesterday about 2010 or so. And I'm up here today with our lamas, Lama Rigzin Drolma and Lama Nyamyal Dorje. And this morning we'll do our regular Sunday meditation practice. So we'll be alternating between a meditation focused on the breath and a meditation where we'll be chanting together. What we'll do is in one breath, we'll chant the syllable hung twice, so something like hung, hung, and we'll do that at our own pace, and there'll be some resonance, and it's quite enjoyable. And the breathing practice is common across a lot of traditions, and this chanting practice was handed down to us by our Lama in Tibet, Adzam Rinpoche. Okay, so we'll start with our aspirational prayers that you have on this sheet here. The first 4 lines from the 4 boundless thoughts and also the Shantideva section. Then we'll get into the meditation. May all beings always have happiness and its causes. May all beings always be free of pain and its causes. May all beings always be pain-free and live happily. May no beings ever cling to those near nor spurn those far. For as long as space abides, as long as the world remains, just so long may I be there, resolving all beings' pain. So take some time to center yourself, find a place of balance in your seat. In this meditation, we have 3 pillars of support that we can depend on. First is our cushion, our contact with the earth itself. Indeed, we're sitting over the very center of the earth. And with that support, we can have a sense of safety and we can relax. We also have the support of our skeletal structure, of our spine. Our back can be straight, not stiff. That provides us a very real support too, so that we can sit here and relax, knowing we're supported. With our back straight, we also have the support of our central channel, energy channel that runs along much the same path as the spine. So sit. As the mind tends to wander, bring it back your breath. We're going to bring attention to our breathing, not in our head. Try to be as much in the body as possible when you're working with the breath. Just feel what it's like for the breath to be coming in or going out, what it feels like, where it feels different. I'll do this for a few minutes. Now we'll move our attention to the chant. again, settle in your seat. Move your attention to the body, to the feelings, sensations of the breath. Maybe how it feels at the nostrils or in your stomach. Just feeling of it moving in and out. What that's about. Oh. Settle back on the breath. When your mind wanders, just come back to the sensation of the breathing. We're going to take a minute to stretch. Okay. Yeah, we'll be passing our book around, and what we do is we'll be dedicating the merit for our practice today to all sentient beings, and especially the names here in this book, so feel free to add anyone you'd like. Again, we'll read that at the end of the practice. Okay, how was that for everybody? And I know this was First time for some people, maybe. So, yeah.
Somebody said, great. That's it.
Morgan, I think. So, it's good to hear. Great. Any comments or questions?
Tell us about great.
Okay, we are reading from Comfortable with the Uncertainty. This is a book by Pema Chodron. It's 108 short teachings. Each one typically takes up about a page. And today we are on chapter 35, the practice of loving kindness. To move from aggression to unconditional loving kindness can seem like a daunting task. But we start with what's familiar. The instructions for cultivating limitless Maitri is to first find the tenderness we already have. We touch in with our gratitude or appreciation, our current ability to feel goodwill. In a very non-theoretical way, we contact the soft spot of bodhicitta. Whether we find it in the tenderness of feeling love or the vulnerability of feeling lonely is immaterial. If we look for that soft, unguarded place, we can always find it. This formal 7-step practice uses the first lines of the 4 Limitless Ones chant. You can also put the aspiration in your own words. Step 1, awaken loving kindness for yourself. May I enjoy happiness and the root of happiness, or use your own words. 2, awaken loving kindness for someone for whom you spontaneously feel unequivocal goodwill and tenderness, such as your mother, your child, your spouse, your dog. May so-and-so enjoy happiness and the root of happiness. 3, awaken loving kindness for someone slightly more distant, such as a friend or neighbor, again saying their name and aspiring for their happiness using the same words. 4, awaken loving kindness for someone about whom you feel neutral or indifferent, using the same words. 5, awaken loving kindness for someone you find difficult or offensive. 6, let the loving kindness grow big enough to include all the beings in the 5 steps above. This is called dissolving the barriers. Say, may I, my beloved, my friend, the neutral person, the difficult person, all together enjoy happiness and the root of happiness. And 7, extend loving kindness toward all beings throughout the universe. You can start close to home and widen the circle even bigger. May all beings enjoy happiness and the root of happiness. At the end of the practice, drop the words, drop the wishes, and simply come back to the non-conceptual simplicity of sitting meditation. So I think it's a lovely chapter. It is a daunting task, this idea of truly limitless loving kindness. Whatever beings there may be, omitting none, the great and the mighty, the weak and the small, seen and the unseen, those near and far away, the born and the yet to be born. It's a lot of beings to care about, and like a lot of truly, worthwhile tasks, it seems maybe insurmountably difficult at first. But that's why, as you can see, the way she's outlined this practice, we're starting with what's familiar, with what we know we can tap into. There's people or pets that we know we can, we feel that love for already. And what we're trying to do is cultivate and amplify that. Of course, you might wonder, such an ambition, why? Why bother with this scale of loving kindness? Take care of me and mine, isn't that enough? And I think there's a couple answers there. One, we ultimately help ourselves most when we're able to be that tender with the world. And second, I think, just like with sitting meditation, where we're trying to cultivate a certain amount of calm, because when we have an open and spacious mind, one of the characteristics of it is that it feels calm. One of the characteristics of it also is this sort of limitless compassion. And so as we practice that, we're putting ourselves in a more open and spacious state of mind. Some of us have a little difficulty caring for ourselves. Maybe it's easier for us to care for those around us. So, you might run into difficulty starting there with yourself, but it's a seed that we want to nurture also. We want to have that same compassion for ourselves as much as those that we love, and people we're normally neutral to or even find really difficult. She closes mentioning that at the end of the practice, drop the words, drop the wishes, and simply come back to the non-conceptual simplicity of sitting meditation. Again, in this sort of non-dual, open and spacious state of mind, this tone of loving kindness runs right through it. So we're not really leaving it there either. Okay. That's what I was thinking. You guys want to say anything about the chapter or the theme?
I'm always curious to hear what people have to say, rather than myself. There's a lot to this practice. There are a lot of ways of encouraging it. Traditionally, this thing is, I've got yours.
Oh.
Here. Traditionally, it's understood in the context of rebirth that we've all been related to one another, and that at some point you've been in some helpful relationship to me, and we focus on that. I just would single out two things. I love the word tenderness. We often teach it as a meditation on love, but I really appreciate the word tenderness, because I don't know why. For me, it just rings true. And well, I'm going to say three things. We in December we spent time in New Mexico. We have a lovely little retreat spot there, and we have figured out how to attract the deer. And just watching the deer, they are very, very tender. Just watching them is a kind of embodiment of this meditation. Just sort of look at you. They come very close to the house. I'm sure if we spent any time, we probably could hand feed some of them. The other is, most of us have, I think, actually, if truth be told, well, enemies, people who are wishing us harm are very, very hard, but many of us also have trouble feeling kindness and tenderness towards ourselves. And that's a place where I very much encourage everyone to spend some time. I'll leave it at that.
So how is it for you to reflect on, may I be happy and have the causes of happiness, and may this other quite dear person also to go through that. How is that? Is it possible to feel into it? Of course, we could just mechanically, recite words, but I'm just curious. There's no right or wrong answer. We're just sharing our human experience. Well, do we have, sorry, Laurie.
Do we have a mic?
Microphone? Thank you.
I am really
Like a lollipop, ice cream cone.
lollipop.
Yeah.
okay. Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm just really thankful for this practice. Or this loving kindness, I guess. Back in, I think it was 1998. Sorry if I get a little emotional here, but that was when I was first introduced to this concept, and I think it may have saved my life. And first learning to ask for loving kindness and the root of happiness for myself, and then gradually towards others close, and then towards others not as close, and then towards others who I may feel antagonism with, and then more broadly and generally to all beings, because something in me was really shut tight, and that opened something and let it open a little more, and then it would shut again, and then it would open a little more, and just gradually, day by day, just knowing that it tends to open and shut. But through loving kindness practice, it's an opening and a softening and a relaxing and a tenderness, and then I was able to learn other things about living, but that was the beginning.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Keep the microphone around. Other people might want it. You just hold it for a little bit. Yeah, thank you, Lori. Tenderness. Yeah, I really resonate with your gesture. Something closed, something opening. Thank you. Yeah.
I think in terms of self-compassion, I know that things like resentment are a major hindrance for like letting go. And so by letting
Lollipop,
go,
ice cream cone.
letting go of resentment towards other people is an act of compassion towards myself. And
Say more about that.
yeah,
Sounds
so
very true.
There's been times where I could have a resentment towards a person that I'm close to, that I know, or it could be a person that I don't know at all. But it's like a waste of energy. It's bad for your health too. It's like poison. And so a very simple thing that's helped me, I think, maybe I heard this from Pema Chodron, but it's like if you think of the person, whether it's yourself or someone else, to nurture compassion or cultivate compassion is to think of them as a child. So if I think of myself as like a 3-year-old child or a 5-year-old child, or that person, maybe before you picked up some kind of, negative experiences or something, then you say, well, we're all still these innocent children in a way. And so I can see that. And I'm a school teacher, and I can look at, if there's kids that come in the room, I can say, well, oh, he's probably going to do that thing again that he did last time, but I have to be just as kind to that kid, maybe more so than the ones that are always, the easy ones. So anyway, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. The kids are lucky to have a teacher like you, really. This innocence that you mentioned. I mean, really, compassion, loving kindness is the core practice. And to feel it as tenderness in your own heart, is a gift. And yeah, I love what you said. It's a waste of energy. They call these the three poisons for a reason. And it sounds like some kind of literary device. I certainly remember, here are three poisons. Yeah, it's a dramatic statement, but yeah, that's what they mean. Exactly what you're talking about. So it is very tender. And primordial innocence is when, we are oriented towards Dzogchen, great completeness practice, and that is a fundamental teaching of reality. And as Jason said earlier so eloquently, when we really just, you didn't use this phrase, but kind of divest ourselves of our armor, that thing that we learned growing up that you were referring to. Yeah, there's a natural kindness there, and even it's part of our nature, finally, we feel. So, yeah, thank you for letting us know that's how it is for you. Thank you. And your name again?
Morgan.
Morgan, that's right. Thank you. Anyone else? Did somebody just hand you the microphone? Do you? Oh, anyone else? It's nice to. Okay. Oh, so thank you. No pressure, right? Just.
I just want to share, all these years I have been a struggle with loving difficult people, especially after the political situations that we have gone through. But today, Jason, thank you. Today, finally, I got it. And I feel, oh, thank you. It's just like a relief, like something heavy, I just dropped it. Thank you.
You just dropped something heavy. Wonderful. How did you know?
How do I know?
How did you know that this time you got it?
During meditation, I just felt peace, and I just relinquished whatever that heaviness. I was picturing, I always felt love with progressive people. I don't have any problem. But today it felt different. It was like, okay, just release it. And I felt so light and happy, and I felt tenderness and love. Wow, all these years,
Wonderful,
all these years.
wonderful, wonderful. You want to say anything more? No. Avalokiteshvara Chenrezig, who's the embodiment of compassion and the Buddhist tradition, Guan Yin in China, actually has a deer in his heart. If we have a statue that our teacher made, and if tankas are very detailed, and it's for that reason, it's the tenderness that I think we feel when we see a deer, and they just look so, I don't know, lovely, and they don't have fangs or big teeth. Well, the males, of course, they do fight sometimes, but still they just look so, with their little ones, just feel tender, gentle. Good preparation for your pilgrimage. Your pilgrimage is beginning. No, really, it's a moment to feel like that. Yeah.
Okay, and then to stick with our time here, let's close with another meditation session. Start with breathing. Close your breathing. Find your seat. Relax into your seat with all the support you have here. And feel what it's like to breathe. Back to the breath once more. Do we have
Where's
the
the
book?
book?
Sorry. And now do our closing aspirations and dedicate the merit. Start with the dedication. By this good may I swiftly once become a great guru, lead all beings, everyone, to reach to that very ground. Then, guess our blessing here.
Sorry?
Yeah.
Yes. And the blessing at the bottom of the column.
Okay. With all of you in mind, we light this lamp of clarity. May the glow of love, wisdom shine within us, everyone, till we all rise forth born in one enlightened mandala. We'll dedicate the merit of today's practice to all beings, and especially to Susan and Karen, Camiatos, Monica, Andrew, Louis, Alberto, Ed, Jenny, Marisol, John and family, Sandy and the Bardo, Wally and family, Bob and family, Bishop, Louise and the Bardo, Patrick, victims of war, Helen, Stephanie, Kay, Randy, Donna, Monty, Jen, Melanie, Megan, Ngaim, all who suffer, Barbara, the Hayes family, including our pets, the Robinson family, the Davis family, the Roberts family, and the Jones family, all beings, Morton Lazowski and the Bardo, Stephanie Cleary,
And Tinjo and her birth mother. In the Bardo now.
oh, yeah. We'll close with a single syllable that will chant and radiate that energy out. We'll chant ah, and you guys online would be welcome to unmute if there were folks, but looks like Zoom's a little sparse today. So
Nobody's online.
okay, here we go. Ah.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Jason. Really nice job, really nice. Number 36 is a really good one.
Yeah, that's a really good chapter.
Yeah.
Thank you all. Coming
So glad
events.
you're all here.
We have lunch for everyone.
Is that now or is that after the,
I think it's right now. Emily, is it right now?
don't announce it.
I think it's,
And then
is lunch now or during the event?
Oh,
Lunch is
very good.
now.
And then at 12:30.
We have a
the
welcome event, so
We'd
please
love to,
be here or come here for our welcome event. And then next week, we have a retreat on Vajrasattva. And if you're interested, we just ask you to fill out what's called a Dzogchen Cycles application. So we learn a little bit more about who you are, if you're interested in that. We have our first and third Tuesdays. So the third Tuesday, we're teaching about compassion this month.
actually very much related to the passage that we read from Shantideva, the classic Indian teaching on bodhicitta.
And then in March, we will start talking about my book
We will
called,
start talking about your book.
I will start talking Buddhist Practice on Western Ground, talking about assimilating traditional Buddhist practices to our Western life. And yeah, we'll leave it at that for now. So, lovely to see everyone. Bon appetit.
Happy New Year. It's a Tibetan
And
New Year.
Happy New Year.
I think many of our usual participants online perhaps are celebrating the New Year.
Wildly.
Wildly.
Okay.
Yeah. Good.